morning, good evening, whatever you want. It's not morning, it's evening. We doing our weekend live. We're doing it before everybody else wants to step in and do their thing. We've had a pretty tough day today. Not as tough with others. So, and we're on day 40 of the carnivore challenge, but we won't talk about the carnivore challenge if you don't want, because some people hate that. But we will if you want to. Got my death metal T-shirt on, representing. Everybody's coming in here. Good deal, man. Good deal. I wanted to hit the airwaves before all the other bull crap wanted to start. So I would rather be in the truck than dealing with what I'm dealing with. So, but it's an open forum. We can talk anything you want. Ask me any question. I'm in a pretty decently foul mood, so who knows? You might get a little bit of I don't care attitude from me. Wife and I had barbecue. If you follow me on Instagram, I showed you what I had. It's the only meal I've had today too. It's full of water. There's nothing else. I've given up alcohol for now, which is a good thing, because today would be a day that I'd probably go a little bit overboard on it. So, but yeah, so we're getting some people in here. We got 10 whole people in here. Awesome. So, let's see here. Let's see how many times I can say so and It's like YouTube and Verizon want to be stupid right now. Here we go. Get some more people in here to do some shout outs, shall we? And we're in the backyard because the front yard is full of noise. Friday and Saturday nights, the main drag is full of guys on motorcycles being really loud. There was a police chase over there by my mom's house, so that was fun. So in her town, you could probably get away with something right now because they're all centered around whatever they were chasing. So let's do some shout outs. Let's get some people in here. If you would, share out this video, hit the thumbs up. Let's get the word out. Let's do the keywords: 18-wheeler, big rig, trucking, guitar playing, music. What else? What else do I talk about? Business, family, home, whatever. We're just getting the keywords out. And carnivore, keto, whatever you want. Veganism. Tell vegans if you want. Let's see. Don Schonger, RN, Nevada Trucking and Trails. Donnie Luke, Big Rig CEO, Nothing Witty. Talk about what you want. I will, Rick. I will. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Jonathan Wheeler. Oh, I want to shout out to Les, too. We'll give that a second. We got Nomadic Brit in the house. Overtaxed in Minnesota. Nittany Lion, is this the GP Transco forum? No, I don't know anything about the company other than Redbeard and his wife. Laura, I think her name is, work there. They seem to be happy. So, let's see. John Dollahite, good evening. Pigtail, what's up? Kane, is your semi-trailer a reefer? No, it isn't. Getting a lot of wind noise or static. I'm sorry. Not much I can do about that. Say so, and for OTJB to make a drinking game, LOL. He was going to do that at one of his last feeds, but he never did. My last live feed, I think. I don't know if I even kept it up. Bobtail physical damage covering $214,000 is total yearly premium. 83.25, 2,300 down, rest over 9 months. Good or bad in your opinion? Um, let's see. Bobtail and physical damage 214. Why is it covering 214,000, Nevada? Is that what your insurance requirement required? And if this is just bobtail and physical damage, it's not for your own authority, right? So, 83.25 divided by 12. 693. I don't know. Why is your truck valuation so high? I know you just got a new truck, but um, is there gap insurance in there? Is there a trailer? That's $693 a month. That is literally triple of what I'm paying now for truck and trailer. So the Hool, Freedom Pills, Pigtail. Did you get some? Thinking about moving to Bentonville, Rogers area. Do you think I can still do decent running out of that market? Yes, Donnie Luke. I run a lot of stuff out of Arkansas. If you guys watch one of my carnivore videos, I forget which one, but it's one titled S Cargo, the letter S and Cargo. He's out of Arkansas, and he does pretty good. So Rogers, you have basically the Neosho Joplin market, and then Rogers Fayetteville market. So you can do pretty well out of there. So yes, Donnie, you'd be in pretty good shape. Vegan is an ancient native word for bad hunter. I like that, Hool. Thanks for making me laugh. Why didn't you buy a reefer? You don't like reefer? You think it's more responsibility? Kane, it's not the responsibility. I watched the headaches that my dad faced, and I have absolutely no training in reefer whatsoever. All my career I've been drive-in. And perhaps if I had reefer experience, I might, but the cost per mile and per day and per month, however you want to do that. The cost is a little bit higher. There are times when I wish I had a reefer trailer for freeze protect in the wintertime with a lot of the stuff I haul, but it's not that I don't want the responsibility, I just don't know anything about the responsibility. A lot of these guys complain that, well, reefer, you got this, this, and this, and this, like all these negatives, but there's a lot of positives, especially in the revenue department. Right. The quote dropped $400 if I go to loan balance. Who's your insurance agent? LOL. Nevada, I would look at First Guard. It's not my insurance agent now. First Guard for for a $40,000 valuation on the truck and $30,000 on the trailer. On the physical damage, it was, I think my first bill was $350 a month. So, tornado warnings here. Looks better at your house, Snorelord. Yeah, a lot of that stuff, Jeff, went southeast and northwest, or northeast of us too. So right now it looks pretty good. Rick LP, sub Snore, all off topic, but me and my friends are debating. Was grunge a good thing? Because they got rid of hair metal. The original grunge bands such as Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Nirvana were okay, but beyond that, I never followed the scene. Hair metal didn't bother me. I like the original hair metal bands, so I grunge I'm indifferent to. I do like Soundgarden's first couple of albums, and I do like Nirvana's first album is practically a punk album, and then who else? Alice in Chains. I got to see Alice in Chains before they hit it big, and they were pretty heavy. They were they were pretty talented. It's a shame that heroin took most of those guys out. So they weren't any better than the hair metal bands, which they made fun of. Steve Smoke Reefer doesn't pull reefer. My brother covering 140K is paying over 10K. Wow. Yeah, you guys in your, I don't know, if you have bad credit or low experience, that could create that. I don't know. Yes, Donnie, I agree. I am ready for that Bella Vista bypass to be done. That's going to be. Look, if that Rogers to Joplin stuff or Joplin Rogers stuff is still going and that bypass is built, that'll be such an easy gig. Um, we have a contractor buying a reefer. Oh, wow, we do. Okay. So, Jeff will find out firsthand just how different it is than the dry van market. I think out of all of us at Like Trucking, I think Jeff's the only one with any kind of experience, and that's probably 20-year-old experience back in the day. Big Rig True North came up a bit higher, coming in 186 at about 87.50, and that 83.25 is through broker top line truck insurance. I would look at First Guard, so, and then a WIDA as well. Credit, what's that? The whole good afternoon, John. I haven't had a chance to call you back. To be honest with you, I've spaced it. But if that's where you want to go, then more power to you. I have nothing against where you're going to go. I don't know anything about where you're going to go. I know that the person that is also on YouTube that's there is doing very well there. So, try First Guard. That's all they do is I pay $284 for that coverage. There you go. Used to haul swing and meat to Hunts Point every week. Wow, that's old school right there. So I've had a lot on my plate. I really don't want to go into details of what I'm dealing with, other than what I've revealed, but it's been hard physically, mentally, and emotionally. So it's funny how petty a lot of things become when you're dealing with real life deep stuff. You know what I mean? Checking our thanks First Guard. No need to explain, buddy. And Les Doyle. Those of you guys know Les D. That's in all the feeds. He's not doing too well. So our thoughts and prayers are out to him. He's not in good shape. So my aunt just had a heart attack. Family comes first. John, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Look. It's funny how insignificant a lot of the things that worry us on social media and YouTube become, how petty they become when we're dealing with life and death situations or real family, like personal or even personal hardships. And while I'm not dealing with the death in the family, it feels like it. You know what I mean? And there's just so many emotions from my past about the future, about the present that are going on. And I have this unbelievable task in front of me, and I don't know how I'm going to accomplish it. I really don't. There's two major tasks that I got to take care of, and I don't know how I'm going to accomplish it. I don't know how I'm going to get through it. So we won't get into that. I don't want to get emotional on you guys. But then I learned that, one of my big time followers and supporters had a stroke and a heart attack. So, Les, we're thinking of you. Okay? No. Amen for reals. GNC family truck and divorce was tough for me, but losing a loved is worse. I pray for you every day, Steve, and all my truck friends. I thank you, John. Truth about trucking wife. Thoughts and prayers go out to you all battling sickness, hardship, depression. Thank you. Mike Williams, did you get the truck fixed? I'm kind of behind on your videos. Yes, Mike. The spring hangers were fixed. U-joints in the front were fixed. I still need new tires. And but the truck's ready to go after that. After I get new steers, the truck's ready to go. However, I won't be back in the truck until at least mid-July. So Punched in at 6:50 one day and clocked out at 7 p.m. and changed due to other people's screw-ups, but got like 8 likes on Instagram, so I guess it's cool. The Hool, do you follow me on Instagram? Am I following you back? I didn't realize you're on Instagram. Yeah, John, look, when you count... So here's why it's important to have your financial affairs in order, okay? Let me explain something to you. I'm having to take about 2 months off to do what I need to do for family. It has nothing to do with the truck. 2 months. So if I'm averaging at the very low scale $14,000 a year, or a month, a month, what's 80% of that? Let's get our calculator. So 14,000 times 2 equals 28 times 0.8. That's 22,400 gross revenue I'm missing out on. And then on top of that, after the repair and the tires, that's going to be, let's see, 23 plus, we'll call it 15. 23 plus 15, that's $3,800. So yeah, 38 plus 22, so $26,000 just to deal with what I'm dealing with and the loss of revenue. But you can't really, I mean, you look at loss of revenue, but you don't look at loss of revenue. You look at it, now, is the time off going to put me in the hole? No. I've got money saved up to deal with this. Ratman Roden, what's up? Good to see you, sir. You may be at your favorite hotel by you Monday. Ratman, let's definitely do dinner Monday. Definitely. If you feel like it. If you feel like it. I kind of need a distraction. So, what kind of tires? Thomasville says Michelin. I'm looking at Michelin's this time. I got to check out our discounts. I think there's a couple of click and go apps that have discounts. So there's that. Oh, there was alignment added to that. So yeah, the alignment's already done. I just gotta get new tires. What kind of tires I like? I've been using Goodyears on the steers for a while now, since Schneider. However, I want to switch to Michelin's this time. Did you guys see what happened to the, not like trucking Thor, but the other Thor in California or Nevada or whatever, where Utah? He's from Utah. Did you guys see what happened to his steer tire? That's crazy. Do I want to lease out my trailer? I don't know, James. Praying for you and your family. Thank God. Thank you, Salem. I appreciate that. Have you heard anything on OI to tire discount? No, I haven't examined that or explored that yet. Get Venmo app. I know, Thomas. You keep telling me that. I keep forgetting. I'm doing a test. One steer is Goodyear, the other's Yokohama. John. 1K. I don't know, James. We might talk later. My husband is new at being an owner-operator, but he is trying to find his way. It gets frustrating at times with the Schneider board. Any suggestions? It depends on what you're getting frustrated about. Truth about trucking wife. If it's just general owner-operator stuff, I think it's going to be like that wherever you're at. If it's things that Schneider's doing, then you know, if it's things that you can't help. I need to do a call-in show, so that would be a good one to call in, and I can kind of explain, and we can talk further about it, because I think that it just depends. There's no blanket statement for that. I mean, you could sit there and like, "Oh, get away from Snyder." No, maybe that's not the problem. So it just depends on what he's frustrated. Is it Schneider or is it just the owner operator? And is he a SFI truck or is if he or does he have his own truck? So that adds an element too. Um, Once upon a time, it wasn't legal to run mixed match steering tires. It was a good year. Oh, I just where we went from Michelin. Let's see. Okay, sounds good. Great idea on talk show. Yeah, trucking wife. Like I said, when it comes to the Schneider board, how long have you guys been there? How long have you been on that Schneider board? Because there's tips and tricks depending on where you're at, where you want to run, and there's different tricks and strategies to handle the trailer pool. And Big Rig CO will help too because you have to know the ins and outs of dealing with the trailer pool because the trailer pool can be very frustrating. I don't miss that about Schneider. In fact, the only thing I miss about Schneider is the OCs because I enjoyed having an OC place to park if I was in Dallas or a place to park if I was in St. Louis or Indianapolis for that matter. So there are tips and tricks to deal with the trailer pool that definitely lower some of the frustration you might be feeling. 3 months and we are in South Carolina. Okay, so you probably need some strategies on dealing with the trailer pool. And the lane that I would look at the most is up and down 77, Carolinas to Ohio and back. You can really make a career out of that. And I believe there might be a Tractor Supply account that you can utilize as well out of North Carolina. Do I still have any orange swag? Yes, I do. Do you like full maintenance leases? Mac's big on it now. Sean, yes and no. Okay, leasing's a good tool, and it depends on the pricing. If the payment is around a truck payment or lower, then it could be a great option. But here's the difference: if you get a 5-year note on a truck, and let's say you put 10 cents a mile away for maintenance and repair, and let's say after a year you don't tap into that at all and it just keeps building, that money's yours. Whereas on a full maintenance lease, you're giving that off the top. And so whether that truck needed that 10 or 12 cents a mile or not, you've paid it. So there's no blanket statement for that either. I hate blanket statements. And so leasing is a great tool if you don't want anything on your credit. Like if you want to buy a house, or if you're going to trade the truck in every 3 years and you don't want to lose, you don't want to worry about equity, leasing can be a good option. However, a lease with the option to buy, so it just depends. I know Jeff did really well with his last full maintenance lease, which was through Volvo, but he had a really good rate that I don't think is normal, and that dealership doesn't even give that out anymore. So it's just, and you have to have massively good credit, and you have to have at least some income tax returns to show that you're a successful business. I do know that. So look, Schneider all in is no different than what they give you the total, just not the listing, the fuel surcharge, but they offer many more choices on what you can choose. Look, that's what I've heard about the all in board. They're just not calling it 65% and they're not separating the fuel surcharge. And I think that they're starting to starve out the legacy board guys, and they're going to have them switch to that. Hell no on lease, only for people with no money. Thomas, that's a blanket statement. There's a lot of reasons to lease. You know, like if you want to go to Prime or Swift or want to lease one of their trucks, that's a different game. Full maintenance lease from a dealership is a little bit different. So, all right, Big Rig CEO. Talk to you later, James. Hey, didn't get a notification, just saw your live. Yeah, I saw your text come through. So, Scott brought this up, but yes, we are on day 40 of the Carnivore Challenge. So after 40 days and 40 nights, there was only one meal that I did not stick to the way of eating. And that was because it was a very special and unique situation. So, look, leasing versus buying, that's been an argument for a long time. Would I lease a truck through a trucking company? I wouldn't. Schneider Finance is a little different because you can bring the truck anywhere, but know this, they will charge you to do that. They don't want you to do that. And so trying to bring a truck that has a $4,000 a month note to any other company is a lot challenging. It's very challenging, so I don't recommend it. Most company leases, not all, but most, if you leave and you can't buy the truck out, then you lose all your equity in the truck. So if you're paying $600 a week for a truck, and after 2 years you decide you're done, you're going to lose equity for that amount of money. Whereas a full maintenance lease, I think there's some additions there. Jeff can talk more about that. So just know, I had a friend that was 2 or 3 months from paying his truck off, and they fired him, and he lost everything on that truck. So I don't feel thinner. You know, the weight redistributes when you go keto and carnivore. Your waistline gets slower, or it gets thinner. I've only lost like 12 pounds through the last 40 days. And 2 of those pounds fluctuate. But I feel thinner. I look thinner. And I will do some recorded videos on what happened with the Carnivore Challenge and the things that I learned and the things that the do's and don'ts that I've learned and what it's done for me. I don't see myself going full on just regular eating anymore. You found keto bread at Walmart? It's about time Walmart had that. You got to be careful with that stuff, though, Thomas Wilson. But if it's better than regular bread, I think. Let's see, Scott. Huge tax advance to lease, especially if you have other income. One's too many, and 1,000 isn't enough. Not sure what that's about. Keep up the good work. It's working for you. Thank you, Trucking Wife. 12 pounds is a lot in 40 days. You should be proud. I am proud. I feel, look, it's all about how I feel. I mean, I get on the scale every morning and like, I'm up a couple of pounds. Then I'll be down a couple of pounds. So I fluctuate quite a bit, and it's water weight, you know what I mean. But how I feel is actually this. Look, this whole carnivore thing has made this whole experience that I'm doing with at home a lot better. Trust me on that. Full maintenance lease from dealership is not easy to get, but the full maintenance lease from a dealer is a great deal for the lower cost. There you go. Jeff said it. My payment was less than a bank loan payment. Yeah, and see, Jeff got a really good rate because he had a history with that particular dealership. That was the second full maintenance lease, if I remember correctly, right, Jeff? With the extra testosterone from the protein, you might be gaining muscle as you lose fat, which would change your shape even though it's less than you expected. It's less loss than you expected. Nothing Witty is exactly right. They talk about it in a lot of these carnivore channels. They talk about it in a lot of these keto channels. So, yes, I'm definitely losing fat and gaining muscle, especially with all the lifting and stuff I've been doing. And yes, testosterone is definitely up. Hear that? Particular friend that has that problem? No protein shakes. No. No protein shakes. Protein shakes are made with soy and whey. No bueno. Soy. Look, guys, here's I've learned so much about food, okay? Soy products increase estrogen in men. Soy products make you have man boobs. Soy products make you lose testosterone. Soy products are bad for your health. Go by measurements, not weight. That is absolutely true. Negotiation skills out the ass. What's that mean, Cahul? Just take Metformin 2 times a day and lose 50 pounds more very quickly. I have no idea what that is. Well, can you have soy sauce? You can do whatever you want. Would I have soy sauce? No. I drink soy sauce. I love soy sauce. Stay away from wheat and gluten products. Absolutely right. But yes, today is the 40th day. See the comment above Steve. But Jeffrey Light can get a Whopper at McDonald's at a discount. That's true. Metformin is a diabetes medication. Guys, I watched a video that really opened my eyes on what corporate America is doing to your health. And there are so many people that have gone on a keto / carnivore who've gotten rid of their diabetic medication. They've gotten rid of their heart medicine. They've gotten rid of their statins. They've gotten rid of their blood pressure medicine. Carnivore diets have helped with Alzheimer's. It's helped with MS. It's helped with autism. It's helped with ADHD. High blood sugar shrinks your brain. Notice I stuttered on that. You're all being fooled. We are all being fooled. Very little of this food is good for us, but good for the medical industry. $245 billion are made in diabetic medicine, related to diabetes. And a large percentage of America has diabetes right now. Don't believe me? Ask the person next to you. Ask the person next to you how many ailments they have. Yes, I did watch the second video, Scott. Extremely powerful. My wife and I finished the first video. My wife's halfway through the first video, and I immediately put her on the second video. Both those videos should be required videos for everybody that wants to learn about nutrition. And it's not just about hating sugar. It's about... That's a loud motorcycle. It's about what corporate America is doing to us to keep us sick. That's it. From 6 months old, you're given Enfamil. What is Enfamil? It's infant formula that has soy and gluten, all these different bad processed proteins. And if you're overweight, man, if you're overweight, this is why we're not out front. If you're overweight, whether you're 5 years old or 55 years old, it is not because of sloth and gluttony. There are biochemistry things going on. There are things going on in your brain that this food is blocking. Your leptin resistance, insulin resistance. There's so much I've learned about 80% of the food that we eat. I went to a grocery store the other day. It was depressing. It was sad. A cart that didn't have much in it, and it cost me a lot of money, and it wasn't even that. And so you can sit there and say, well, you got to die sometime. No, 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 no. Well, ask the person that's in the hospital right now with a heart attack and a stroke and all the health ailments that he's faced in the last 20 years because of the diet, because of the food. I don't want any part of that. All right, let's do some comments here. Soy's like flavored salt. It is. I will not feed Snorelord a pizza again. No, you won't, Jeff. I'll go hungry first. Need some help. Something. Okay, you guys are talking to Jeff. Let's see. I learned how to cook breakfast from one of Jeff's old videos. There you go. Did you watch? Yeah, okay, I answered that. I need to do more cooking videos when I'm in the truck. I got to do my research on this carnivore diet to try it. Trucking wife? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you are fighting your weight, if you're fighting any health ailments, I don't care which ones they are, I'm telling you, with every fiber of my existence, that the diet that you're eating is killing you. I know it's kind of hyperbolic, but it's true. Pamela asks, am I going to stick with carnivore? For the most part. I might have an avocado or two. I do miss broccoli, cauliflower a little bit. But I will slowly reintroduce those foods to see how it works. Remember, those are 10-year-old also. Yes, that's the thing. Scott's talking about these videos. One's 11 years old and the other one's 5 years old. And they could have been made yesterday. This doctor was ahead of his time. Scott, you have a wrench. Go ahead and put the link to the second video in this chat, please. Oaster, we're going to take care of that. Put the links to both videos if you don't mind, Scott. I do have noisy neighbors. The whole, you can do fast food. We went to Brahms last week, and I ordered 2 number 3s with cheese, and that's it. 2 piles of hamburger in a styrofoam container, and it filled me up. I was full. Probably could have done away with just one. You pick up. How's that working for you, John? Picking up chicks at the grocery aisle. Thomas Wilson already seen those once, but I'm gonna go watch cooking videos again. Jeff, you know how to lose 15 pounds. I've told you. Get a lettuce wrap instead of a bun, or just get it in the container and eat it with a fork. Not too well. It's hard to pick up chicks at a grocery store. Hey, baby, I'm a creepy old truck driver. How you doing? Not calling you creepy old truck driver, John, but you know, it's essentially what we all are to these chicks. Does the carnivore diet cause any vitamin deficiency in your body if it's done long term? Not that I've seen. It depends on what you're eating. If you're eating nothing but McDonald's hamburgers without the bun, yeah, you're gonna have some deficiencies. But if you're taking in some liver and some organ meats, then you're getting your vitamins through that. Also, your vitamins are more absorbed. There's another video from a channel called From What I Learned about the carnivore diet. It kind of goes over the nutritional deficiency myths that are out there. So I will call John that, says Chucky. That's the first video. And look, all these videos are in my community posts, guys, including the From What I've Learned about the carnivore. Those are good starting points. Now, here's the thing with carnivore. I'm going to be real with you guys. To go from a high carb diet, thank you, Scott. To go from a high carb diet to carnivore, I don't recommend that. You got to work your way to that. You got to wean yourselves off the carbs. And so I suggest, if you're a high carb guy right now, I suggest dirty keto. What's dirty keto? Don't eat any bread, pasta, flour, sugar, and fried potatoes. Baked potato, maybe. Doesn't matter what the meat is. It could be processed meat. But then you want to go to clean keto where you're not eating processed meat. Just meat, fatty meat, vegetables. Lots of butter, lots of cream, not a lot of cheese. Once you become more fat adapted, then go into the carnivore, and then it'll be good. No white rice. Too much starch, too high glycemic, John. The exception of cauliflower, anything white in the vegetable world, you don't want it. The lab grown meat, it's not gonna work. That stuff's gross. Yes, they're an hour and a half each. Those videos that I posted, and but they're well worth it. They'll open your eyes. Question, what is fat adaptive? Okay, let's talk about that. All right, RN. We're going to get to the nitty gritty. This is layman's terms, not medical terms, okay? All right, you guys ready? Okay. Imagine you're a pickup truck, okay? And you need to get 20 gallons worth of gas. So you get 20 gallons. Drive around and you only burn 10. But then you want to buy another 20 gallons. So what do? You create a tank in the back. You grab those red gas cans that are annoying, and you fill up the rest of the gallons, okay? And you keep doing that. You're only burning 10, but you're buying 20, okay? That 10 gallons that you're burning, that represents carbs. And so at the end of the month, what do you have? You have a pickup truck full of gasoline that you can't even tap into, because you don't have a fuel line to go from the gas tanks to the main tank. Okay, so if you eliminate the carbs and stop buying gas, which is the carbs, and you create a line that goes from the fuel, from the gas in the back to the gas in the front, now you're burning your fat stores. I know it sounds weird. Right now, you're burning off of carbs. If you eat 150 or more carbs a day, you're not fat adapted. So what happens is the insulin resistance kicks in. leptin resistance kicks in. You don't know when you're full. Have you guys ever ate a huge buffet but then still got dessert? That's leptin and insulin at work. Those 2 videos that Scott posted explains all that. Okay? And so eventually you get rid of all the gas in the back of the pickup because now you're fat adapted. And by fat adapted, you're getting all the gas. And so there's a study that was done with a guy back in 1969 that was 500 pounds. And he lost all that weight just by not eating for a full year. And that's where fasting comes in, and intermittent fasting. And, you know, and there's so many ways to intermittent fast. I suggest simplifying it. And so that forces your body to use the stores. If you have a gut, you have extra, that's got all your vitamins, that's got all your nutrients, with the exception of sodium and potassium maybe, and magnesium. And you can take all the multivitamins you want, but if you're not fat adapted, they don't really work very well. It's very inefficient the way the body, you know, burns those. So that's what being fat adapted is. Once you're fat adapted, now you're going to burn that fat. Okay? Calories are you don't even worry about calories at all. Okay? I hope that explains it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Butter Bob's first video, Butter Makes My Pants Fall Off. Scott, if you'd find that one for me and so post that one. That explains exactly what I just said in a different way. Spoopy says he's down 31 pounds. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Cash is King, what's up? Thomas, Pamela, I used the 2000 Pure Watt. Okay, we're talking about the glands. John Stroud, what's up? So, you know, it's Spoopy, I'm at the end of the 40 days. Are you going to continue this? Because I think I am. So I'm gonna have some recorded videos talking about this, the things that I've learned, the things to do and not to do. You know, carnivore is not 100% perfect. You know, there are going to be a couple issues that you'll have to deal with, and everybody's different. Scott, find that From What I've Learned carnivore video and post that, if you don't mind, please. Mr. Bill, what's up? Now, I did buy an air fryer for the truck, and it's still in the box. So I hope it works, because it's over the 30 days that I can take back Walmart. It's a little one, though. It's a little one. Yeah, I'm sold on this movie. It's awesome, ain't it? And look, don't take my word for it. Let me find a video here. You tell me that diet doesn't work. You tell me that keto doesn't work. You tell me that carbs are good for you. You tell me, and look at that picture and tell me that. Those are results, people. Find any of my old videos. Those are results. Look, we can compare. We can compare. I can't even watch that video. That was 380 pounds right there. I'm at 267 right now. And so these other YouTubers that want to make fun of the whole keto thing and all that, you know, or give me crap because I don't like sugar. Right there, right there. That's why I don't like sugar. That's why I think the food's killing us. Okay? You tell me that this stuff doesn't work. And you can make fun of me, you can give me crap all you want. You know, most of these people that make fun of the whole keto thing are sitting there smoking a cigarette. You know what I mean? It's and all I want to do is share what I've been able to accomplish for you guys, because health is going to be the number one concern of any truck driver, company, business owner, I don't care. And luckily I caught it before I needed medication. Luckily I caught it before I had to be on blood pressure stuff. Luckily I caught it before I had a heart attack or a stroke on the road while driving. That's why I'm passionate about this, because I have a friend in the hospital right now because, you know, he struggles with things. I have many friends that been in the hospital because they struggle with this. I've been in the hospital twice for heart issues. I didn't have full-blown heart attacks, but they thought it might have been. And so physically I'm better and mentally I'm better. Once I shed this weight off, guys, it literally gave me this clarity that I can't even begin to explain to you guys. Go watch my old videos. Go to the beginning of my channel and see the progress. Well, kitty wants in. Sorry I'm late. Been napping during the rainstorm in Wisconsin. Why don't you like carnivals? Because they're expensive walks that are annoying with bad food everywhere. Fatty Fatterson. Snorelord, cook a filet medium rare and put it in a mashed cauliflower with butter, chives, pepper, mix all up. So good. Yes, I agree with that, Thomas Wilson. I need a bread trim. I did trim bread. All you do is pay $100 extra at chiropractor and get a 2-year card. I can't get a 2-year card because of my CPAP machine. Now, a lot of people have asked me, am I going to be able to get off my CPAP? I don't think I will, because I had sleep apnea before I was ever overweight. Now, I have had surgery on my throat years ago, so perhaps when I get down to 225, 210, which is my goal, or at least the bulky 225, then we might revisit, but I would have to do another sleep study. I got liver disease from eating crap, 8 hospital trips, and I once almost died. Dude, I get it. Yep. We all struggling, and I know. I changed my whole set because I was scared. And look, guys, I'm not judging anybody. It is hard to not eat the stuff that is put in front of us. It is a challenge because you've been conditioned. We've been conditioned to think that this is normal. We've been conditioned to think that you have to have cake every day. You've been conditioned to think that you have to have 6 meals a day. You've been conditioned to eat the way that you eat. So there's a physical addiction, there's a mental addiction, there's an emotional connection addiction, and the cards are stacked against you, just like cigarettes. The cards are stacked against you. And I'm proof that you can do it as a truck driver, on the road, you know, in many different situations. That's how I got into the keto diet. Was I had friends that were becoming truck drivers that didn't gain 10 to 20 pounds their first month, which is normal, but lost weight because they were eating dirty keto. You know, they were eating the hot dogs without buns. They were eating the hamburgers without buns. They were eating the boiled eggs that you get at the truck stop. Little cup of cheese and pepperoni. That's much better than the Little Debbie's and all the zingers and all that crap, right? And high blood sugar shrinks your brain. So now you're mentally not right. It's hard to deal with anxiety. It's hard to deal with depression. It's hard to deal with the stress that it takes being a business owner or a truck driver in general. And I'm telling you, I just can't convey this message enough. But no one cares. No one wants to hear that message. Look at my 40 Days of Carnivore videos. No response on the views. I've gotten a lot of good comments, and I appreciate those comments, but no one wants to hear the message because it's hard to be honest with yourself to know that maybe there's an underlying problem that's going to be difficult to overcome. Your 40-day loss is 16 pounds. Scott did the 40-day challenge. Smoothie did the 40-day challenge. I think there's a couple others. And I appreciate every single one of you guys because I'm going to do these videos whether you like them or not. I'm going to do these videos whether there's views or not. But I do know this, that if you drive a truck, or if you own an authority, or if you have contractors underneath you, it's in your best interest to be as healthy as you possibly can. And this food is killing us. That's it. Thomas Wilson, I agree with that. I'm glad you love mashed cauliflower. It's amazing how much you've changed just in a couple of years we've known you. See, Dave sees it, and I appreciate that. It's getting cloudy. I might have a thunderstorm coming in. Carb, sugar, spread. Look, in order for you to accomplish this, this is no joke, okay? In order for you to accomplish this, you have to change your perception of food. You have to change your relationship to food. That's it. Bottom line. Just like an alcoholic, if they want to quit drinking, they have to change their relationship with alcohol. Right? Or if you're a drug addict, the same thing. You have to change your relationship. You have to change your environment. Well, as truck drivers, can't really change the environment of all the food that surrounds us. Can't really change your environment when all we want to do is all go out to eat and, you know, hang out with each other and have, you know, meals and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, you can still go out to eat. You can still eat in the truck stops. You can still eat at the convenience store bullshit places and make this work. I am proof of that. You know, and it's actually a little bit harder for me when I'm at home than it is when I'm on the road. So take that to heart. So these people that are like, well, once I quit trucking, I'll be able to lose the weight. That's not true at all. You might be more active, but exercise doesn't burn enough calories. Exercise only gains you muscle. That's it. Once you change what you eat and then add the exercise to that, you're good to go. And once you figure out that these corporations are making money from the Enfamil at 6 months to the drugs that we have to be on when we're old. You know, my grandmother had a pill box the size of a suitcase. And every morning she had to take at least 30 pills. 30 pills to stay alive. And at the prices, and this was like when I was a kid, And at the prices that the pharmaceutical companies charge for things, if you don't have insurance, you're dead, right? If you need insulin and you can't afford it and insurance won't pay it, you're dead, right? So why put your reliance on that? And that's by design. We're going to milk you for every single dollar that we can until you get to a nursing home. And then we're going to milk your assets. Then we're going to milk the rest of your assets and your money. And then at the end of your death, when you fight cancer for a year and you spent literally $1 million on chemo treatments and radiation treatments and you still die, they got their money. They don't give a shit about you. That's how this works. That's how it is. And so food, the majority of the food that we're eating is poison. Maybe not right off the bat. It's not like eating rat poison or whatever, but it's slowly killing you. Why is there corn syrup in lunch meat? Why is there salt in Coca-Cola? Because it makes you want to drink more. High fructose corn syrup is like what cocaine is to the cocoa plant, you know? And the results cannot be, you cannot deny the results. Look up carnivore results on YouTube. Look up carnivore results on Instagram. Look up keto results. Keto transformation. Hashtag keto transformation on Instagram. And tell me that this doesn't work. Look at paleo. You can even go paleo. Paleo is, if it didn't have a mother come out of the ground, you don't eat it. Plain and simple. Vegetable oils are bad. Except coconut and avocado. Vegetable oil, canola oil is actually trash. Cottonseed oil, trash. Look up the history of cottonseed oil. That's what they're putting in your food. That's what they're putting in your little Debbies. That is what's making you have to go to the pharmacy to get your medication so you can stay alive and shell out all that money. Oh, but steaks are expensive. Well, guess what? So is insulin medicine. Great freight sage logic. Household is on it and loving it. Good deal, Scott. I like asparagus. Mushrooms and onions, top steak. Yeah, you know what I'm talking. Some vegetables are poison. That is absolutely true. I got it. Now break out the mighty axe and place some eruption for the neighbors. A video popped up from your Snyder days the other day, and I didn't even recognize who it was. Congratulations on your success. Cash is king, thank you. The video that probably popped up was either about the app or it was about the key to success, which I got a lot of negative criticism for that video. I got a lot of positive criticism for that. I'm actually proud of that one. Unless you're an Olympic level athlete, you can always out-eat whatever you exercise off. Ken Berry is excellent. Ken Berry is one of my favorite YouTubers right now. Don't feed the geese. Monsanto makes a ton of money from screwing up agriculture. Big Food makes a ton of money from keeping us addicted. Then Pharma gets the rest of our cash. Nothing Witty. Everybody screenshot Nothing Witty's words right there. And that is 100% truth. Right there. Nothing Witty's words right there. That's all of it right there. That is why I'm so motivated. I have this motivation I haven't had in a long time since I first started keto. Because screw the system. Screw the government. Screw these big corporations that want us fat, sick, and dead. And nearly dead. So they could profit. Just like the cigarette companies were putting ads out there that it's okay for pregnant women to smoke, right? Because it was healthy. It's good for the baby. They didn't care about your health. And then years later, what we find out, oh, I guess the tobacco industry kind of knew all these things that, you know, and they still sold it. Well, the food companies are the same way. In fact, a lot of the big tobacco companies and sub-companies and CEOs own a lot of the food companies. Think about this. Oh, Steve, it's weird to eat hamburger every day, but yet you won't think twice about eating a bowl of cereal every day. You won't think twice about having a donut every day. You won't think twice about having sugared coffee mate crap in your coffee every day, right? But to eat meat every day, that's weird. Because you've been conditioned. Conditioned. I am triggered. You've been conditioned to think that it's so weird if you're eating vegetables and meat how do you, what do you do if you want spaghetti for dinner? You don't want spaghetti for dinner. You know what I mean? Red Bull gives you wings. Yep. All these energy drinks. Don't get me started on energy drinks. Hello.
Nothing witty had more to say there. I think all those comments were connected. It looks like it. You got off on a tangent, didn't read the rest of the ongoing saga. But
Okay. I'll read more of Nothing Witty's comments. Meanwhile, the politicians benefit from keeping us stupid and complacent. Yes. The politicians want you fat and stupid. They want you to just react to headlines and have anxiety to go out. And you better get the vaccine, or you better not get the vaccine. They want you paranoid. They want you scared. Meanwhile, I already read that. F that. Eating well and taking care of ourselves will apparently be a fantastic rebellion. There it is. You want to rebel? You want to do something with your life? Eat healthy. That really pisses them off. Think about all the flack that Dr. Burke and Ken Berry and Sean Baker get. You know, all the carnivore, all the keto. Yes, Dave. If you look at if you look at the history of Kellogg's, yes, you're absolutely right. Preach it, brother. So scared they're paying for folks to get that shot? Yeah, I agree with you, Terry. I was taking a nap. My son didn't tell me Snorelord was live. What a little weirdo. VR shirt is Scud approved. Thank you. We got to see them. They have the most awesome guitar. It's got 5 points and all these. Yeah, it was cool. Hello to the wife, Thomas. She's always keeping my look. My wife is my number one fan. So that's my motivation. It wasn't just about cleaning up my diet. It was about learning what these corporations are doing to us. Now, all you guys thinking about the autonomous trucks, let's talk about that for a second. Wow, there's a shortage of truck drivers because they're either quitting the industry or they're having to leave the industry because of health. These convenience stores make money off of you. The Cash is king, thank you very much. These big chain truck stops, they're taking money from you. Do you know what the profit ratio is to soda? Do you know what the profit ratio is to Little Debbie's? You know what the profit ratio it is to almost everything inside that convenience store? It's huge. Now, I have no problem with profit ratios, but it's in their best interest to keep you sugared up and dependent on their stuff. And, you know, which, hey, whatever. I'm all about that capitalism. However, it's at your expense of your health. 65% markup on that crap. You guys ever deliver to one of the soda places and you see the bins of where stuff just got broken, or it's like full? They don't care. They throw it all away. They could donate it to, you know, homeless shelters or whatever, but they don't. I will. I'll tell her that Mrs. Rosa, I mean, well, my wife's watching, she'll see that. Yes, government creates crisis, they have something to save you from. Did you know that Nestle owns the stuff that makes you sick, and then they also make the stuff that makes you well? Or so they say. The more autonomous trucks, the harder it will be to pass the physical. Yes, I'm triggered because we're all dying out here, guys. That's it. We're all dying out here. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to stand up and fight? Or are you just going to let them make you sick? Are you going to let them... Look, if I told you that if you work for me, and I said that you work for me and I'll cover your medical, I'll cover your rent, I'll cover everything about your life, but you have to work for me, but you couldn't afford any of those things on your own, wouldn't that be slavery? If I gave you absolutely no freedom? You might have this illusion of freedom, but without my medical insurance, you can't get your medication. Without my wage, you couldn't pay rent. If you're dependent on medication, you're a slave. If you're dependent on the government for anything, you're a slave. That's it. You got all these anti-government, you know, let's start a civil war and rah, 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 and they got their AR-15s, yet they can't run across the street without having a heart attack. Wouldn't you think that health would be the number one concern? And then you can fix everything else? If you want to change the world, you have to start with yourself. That's taken from Hatebreed's newest album. Yeah, insulin. That's more marked up than the Little Debbie's, that's for sure. Thanks, Big Rig. I was reading where you said he can give you a call. Much appreciated. Can you name one healthy fast food chain? Maybe Elon Musk will start one up. Nittany Lion, the best you can do is hamburgers. And even then, they have a lot of soy products. You know, that's kind of a last resort. You know, to buy 2 triple cheeseburgers with no bun is a lot better than buying all the fries and the soda and all that. But we need to be dependent on fast food, because how else are we going to get through our busy day, right? You know, we've sacrificed our health for convenience. Hell, earlier today, wife and I have been working hard today. We thought, hey, let's buy dinner. Where are we gonna go? My wife said, you know, screw that. We're gonna make something at home. I'm not even hungry. That's called communism. I'm not a political guy, but wasn't Biden's big thing going to be Medicare for all? I guess in typical political fashion, they done forgot about that. Cash is King, let me show you something. If you go under the video that Scott posted that says that's the second video, they will explain that if you could get rid of diabetes it would pump $245 billion into the system. And not only would it save Medicare, it would save Social Security, or Medicaid, I guess, and you wouldn't need healthcare reform. Why do we want healthcare reform? Because we're slaves to the pharmaceutical companies. That's perception changing right there. That is why I look at most food as poison, because they want it to be poison, because they want you to be dependent on the medical system. All right, thank you, Truck and Life. Most fast food restaurants will sell you just a patty. It's cheaper that way. Fast food is never healthy between the low quality drugged up meat. That's true. Some Kroger's I order in bulk and have shipped in. There you go. Thorn and Thunder Trucking, what's up? So trust me on this. Once your perception of the food and the food companies changes, and know that they're trying to make you just a little bit sick. You guys remember that movie, Sixth Sense? You guys remember? Give me a thumbs up if you've seen Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis and that little kid, that little bratty kid. Give me a thumbs up if you've seen that movie. And this will be a spoiler, so if you haven't seen the movie, just go la 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 la, okay? Do you remember the scene? Okay, so two people have seen it. Do you remember the scene where the little boy that can see dead people sees that little girl, and she's sick, right? And she died, right? Obviously, because she's a ghost and you can see her. Well, what did she die from? Her mom was slowly poisoning her, just a little bit, where she was always sick. Do you guys remember that part of the movie? Do you remember that part of the movie? They couldn't figure out why. The doctors look at it. They couldn't figure it out. And she was putting a little bit of poison in her soup or whatever, in her meals, every single day, until it was just too much for her. That's literally what these companies and the government is doing to you. Hey, bud. You guys want to see my dog? Look at my dog. Hi, doggy. Hi. I love my dog. He is awesome. He's like, hey, I heard you talking about steak. I want some. We changed my dog's diet, to be honest. Okay, let's talk about pets for a second. Okay, all the grain-fed pet food that you have. Gee, what do we have? We have dogs and cats with cancer. We have dogs and cats with liver disease. We have dogs and cats with diabetes. Coincidence? And what do these vets do? They sell you the medication to keep your dog alive. They sell you the medication to keep your cats alive. They sell you the medication and all the treatments. You know, hell, Robin from the Howard Stern show spent $30,000 on a cat liver transplant. My dog does have a better beard than those people. That's funny. There's a gal that I watch called She Equips Herself. She's a great concealed carry channel, and she's feeding the dog raw meat and vegetables, and that's become a thing. No, Kane, that will never happen. All right, Thomas Wilson, take it easy. Hey, what's your thoughts on APUs? Worth the cost? Ratman Roden? Yes. It'll cut back on your idle time. And when fuel gets $4 a gallon, you're going to wish you had the APU. APU burns 1 gallon for 10 hours of fuel. Whereas if you idle, you're going to burn, in order to bump up the idle to keep that DPF from screwing up, You want to be at 900 to 1100 RPMs, and that burns a gallon to a gallon and a half an hour. So cost effective is there. It pays for itself. Now I would recommend the Carrier APU, the Carrier Comfort Pro. I would recommend that. No, Rick, I did not call the butcher yet. I've been extremely busy with other things. Oh yeah, there's plenty in Detroit. So if you're going to Detroit, like who would want to go there? There's huge flooding on 75, I believe. I read about that. Why is American medication so expensive? Yet when it's sold in UK, we have a ceiling price of $10 for any prescription if you have to pay. They want 13K. Seems like a long payback. Ratman, you and I could talk more about that. I know that the Thermo King is more expensive than the Carrier because the Carrier is like it's the next best thing to having a generator on your truck. It is a generator, whereas the Thermo King is kind of a different ball gag. You wouldn't need healthcare reform. You wouldn't need. Okay, so why do we need healthcare reform? Well, because treatments are expensive. Well, why are treatments expensive? Well, because these companies control the costs. It's a vicious circle. And the only way to break that vicious circle is to not rely on the pharmaceutical companies, to not ever have to go to the hospital unless you got a broken leg or something like that. No, it didn't. You know why, John? Because it didn't solve the problem. It didn't solve the root of the problem. Root of the problem is the insurance companies. The root of the problem is the fact that we've overwhelmed the medical system with all of our ailments because we have to treat everything. You got toenail fungus, we got a medication for that. You got a brain aneurysm, we got a medication for that. All right, Scott. Are hotshot people doing hotshot because they can never do the big truck and trailer stuff? Kane, no. Hotshots can get into places a lot easier than big trucks can. And I know a lot of people that retire from trucks and go to hotshot. Ratman's doing the opposite. He's going to the big truck. Yeah, Blue Cross went almost bankrupt because of that care. Yes. So it didn't solve the problem. It just made it worse. Just made it worse. It's all a scam. It's all a scam. All of it. Every single bit of it. They want you fat and sick and almost dead. Just like the video. Just like the movie. 6th Sense. They're poisoning you slowly. So you're dependent on that. Well, the real question, in my opinion, is why do people need fast food and processed food? I believe it's a lack of time, 2 parents having to work. That's a part of it, Rick. That is definitely a part of it. It's a social economic status as well. Look what the dog's doing. What are you doing, dog? I've seen an ad for medication that stops your face from twitching, which is caused by an antidepressant. So it's a medication for side effects from a medication. I know firsthand what that is. There, Cassius King. Anthony Bressler, good evening. Our government is any good with tax they already have received. Right. We have this illusion of freedom, people. All right, Maya and the reptiles. You asked the weirdest question, Kane. We had two bearded lizards at one point, and they both passed away. But I mean, they lived for years. I mean, they did really good. But I think one died of old age. We're not sure what happened. Snakes, whatever. I'm indifferent. I found the cat was playing with the snake yesterday. I kind of had to rescue the snake. All right, I totally agree. If we could get back to a way of living with two-parent families and only one needing to work, it would solve a lot, in my opinion. I don't know if it's possible to get back to that. It's not. You get more income tax money coming in if both parents are working. James Best has talked about that. There are people in this chat that don't have their wives work. I wish I could do that, but I'm kind of an idiot sometimes. Yeah, bearded lizards are cool. Yes, we have a high paid wage, and your taxes, which include fuel tax, alcohol, and cigarettes tax, cover most things. But currently, diesel is approximately $10 a gallon. You can still do that, Chucky. Yep, Chucky's doing it. Scott SRO's doing it. There's probably somebody else in here that's doing it. How many of you won't leave a job because it has great medical insurance? You sit at home while my girlfriend goes to work? But it's a one-income household. And Terry, you've got excuse. Whole reason. You have no girlfriend. Well, quit trying to pick up the vegans in the vegetable section there, John. No, my particular bus did not have AC. Cat fight. I'm waiting to hear gunshots soon. We're getting that time of year where is it a gunshot or fireworks? That's me. Would have loved to have homeschooled my kids, but couldn't give up that sweet, sweet health insurance. Not only that, but how many of you wanted to homeschool your kids, but they said that would be weird? Your kids need. You've been conditioned to think that your kids need to go to school. Right? Instead of homeschool. Now we see the results of that. Are your cars packing guns? What are you talking about? There's a serious cat fight going on. You guys hear that? Even the dog's like, huh. All right, guys, this video seems to be winding down. We've only, what do school bus drivers do when kids are in school? Well, we sit around and talk about the world. No, are the cats packing guns? You never know these days. Re-education centers. Yeah, absolutely right, Bill. America will never do that purely because of corporate profits, like Steve is saying. They want you to stay reliant on the medication. There you go. So the only thing you can control, and barely, is what you put in here. That's it. And it's my mission to help anybody that wants to change that way of thinking. that wants to change how you perceive food, the food conglomerates and the food giants and the pharmaceutical giants. This way of eating is a form of rebellion for me. It's not just about me. It's about my family. It's about not giving in and being a slave to their demands. Because cats are fighting us. You never know, man. These cats might bust a cap in somebody. I wish I would have started trucking earlier in life. The money is way better than the benefits I had. And that's what I think and believe, says Bill. Anyways, any more comments, questions, or concerns? If not, we'll end the speed. We are not James Best level. An hour and a half. We're at an hour and a half. That's more than I normally go. I'm sure there's probably somebody else that wants to go live that doesn't care about stepping on me. So, and I want to spend the rest of my evening with my family. Oh, look. There's something going on in South Bend, Indiana. Let's see what it is. Natural disaster. Oh, it must be tornado. That's the only natural disaster I can think of right there. Oh, that was at 3:27 p.m. I missed that. Duck if you're not sure. That's true. Walmart copied Kmart and Walmart put Kmart out of business. Yep. Building collapse in South Florida. I haven't read too much about that. I know that they're finding like all the issues that led up to it. So, what do you think about Coach going to GP Transco? Jeremy Griggs. If he's going to, look, here's the deal. You guys want this? If Coach is ready to give up his authority, because I don't see him finding any contractors that are less than 9 years or more than 9 years experience, which is what OIDA insurance requires to bring on contractors. And so if he's willing to give up his authority and sell his truck and trailer, which he probably made a profit off of, the GP Transco is giving him something that he's not talking about. And he doesn't have to tell you about it, right? Now, I would assume that it would be a killer deal either with the truck or with compensation related to getting their name out there. And with every YouTuber and everybody asking about it, guess what? He's getting the name GP Transco out there. Right? So if he's getting compensated well enough that he's willing to get rid of his authority to get the name out there, mission accomplished. Now, whether you agree with it or not, that's completely up to the individual. I don't know Coach's situation. I don't know the deal that he got. I don't know how strong his authority was. I don't know what is going on in his brain of his. However, he is good at one thing. He's good at people watching his YouTube. Okay? He has almost 200 people sometimes in his live feeds. And he gets a lot of trolls. He gets a lot of haters. But haters watch. And so, if you want to hire somebody to get your name out there, you're going to want somebody that's got high numbers. So, whether I agree with that doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Okay. Coach does coach, and that's it. So that's it. So there's my opinion of that. Michigan is flooding and tornadoes. Yeah, GNC, I was talking about that earlier. Joe Gampa. That's a name I haven't seen before. How you doing? Saw a rumor that building collapse might have been related to McAfee getting Epstein. Really? I haven't even kept up with that. I've been distracted. Warner or Swift? Who would I work with? Probably Warner, because they have dedicated accounts that can keep you busy. I mean, Swift does too. It would depend. If it was a Walmart or a Target, whoever had that, I wouldn't do Dollar General. View is a view. True that. YouTube doesn't know if you hate watching or love watching. They just know you're watching. Exactly. Jeremy Griggs, I agree. It looks like he's going backwards. Well, I mean, look, if something doesn't make sense, then there's another reason for it that's not being mentioned. That's just it. That's it. So, and we can only speculate of what that is. And, you know, at this point, it's not worth the brain power. If you don't like Coach, don't watch him. If you don't agree with what he's doing, then disagree, and that's it. Because, now I get it. He gets a lot of flack because he's called the truckers' coach. But you got to realize that if it was just Jason Pope, nobody would be making a difference. Nobody would care, right? So he knows how to do YouTube. He gets in everybody's heads, just like RBT. No one likes him, but yet he's in everybody's heads. And look, I stop in on a Coach live feed every now and then, usually to help answer questions that can't be answered, but for the most part, you know, I'm dealing with a lot of stuff at home, and I'm focused on my business, that I could care less how he's handling his. You know, and if it makes him happy and it makes him money, then we need that. We need more people that are happy and successful. You know, as long as he's not lying to people and being shady, which, you know, you'd have to prove that, and even then, who cares? You know. All right, Bill, I'll leave it up. Daniel Nami obviously doesn't like Coach. Life After the Road, what's up? And bad info is still info. Just look, you get what you pay for. Okay. Too many people want to go to YouTube for all the answers, regardless of the genre, regardless of the subject, because it's easy. Google how to put on, you know, lawnmower tires. You know, video's going to come up. You know, and if you run any problems, what do? You look for a video of the same problem, right? So, you know, when it comes to trucking and starting a business, take the YouTube for what it's worth, but you want to talk to the people that are actually doing it. You know, if you want to learn how to run a successful authority with contractors, talk to the people that are actually doing that. You know, so obviously if you want your own authority, Coach would not be one that I would talk to, simply because he's given it up twice now. Not saying he failed, because, you know, he just changes. People change. Their needs change, right? So I would talk to the people that have 10, 15 trucks underneath them, like Jeffrey Like. You know, I would talk to the people that are starting to bring contractors on, like Scott at SRO or James Best. You know, talk to the people that are being successful at what you want to do. And, you know, like if somebody asks me, What's a great leasing company to go to? I couldn't answer that. Why? Because I've never had to do that. So I won't disparage anybody from doing that. I'll tell you what I've heard from other people, and I'll tell you the contracts that I've seen, but I'm not going to sit there and make a blanket statement. You shouldn't lease. You know what I mean? Because that's the problem with a lot of us, myself included, YouTubers, is we get asked the question, and it's hard to admit that you don't know the answer. And I've been guilty of that. I'll try to, oh, well, you know, what I would do is da 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 da. Well, Steve, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You know, someone wanted me to compare KLM to Landstar. Well, all I can know is what I know from two different KLM drivers I know, and my experience at Landstar. Now, someone said, hey, what would you rather do, KLM or Trans Am? I have an opinion on that. But it's not based on fact. It's based off experience of people that I know connected to those companies. You know, and their situation might be different than the one that you're in. That's it. So if Trucker's coach job is to get GP Transco's name out there, guess what? He's doing it. He's got 180 people on his live feeds saying, hey, we want to hear more about this situation with GP Transco. Whether they're hate watching, giving them crap, prank calling them, they're still watching. That's it. Mission accomplished. So just keep talking about it, keep it in everybody's heads, and you're just helping his cause. So if you have a problem with Coach, don't help his cause. Just like if you have a problem with RBT, don't help his cause by talking about him. Because that's what, look, narcissists love it when you talk about them. They love it. Whether it's positive or negative, they love it. They love their name being in your head when you're not even supposed to be thinking. I'm not calling these people narcissists. I'm just saying in general. Okay? Honesty is the best answer. Yep, Donnie Luke says, now GP, yep, it's in my Facebook feed too. Outside looking in, maybe backwards, but we're not. Well, I mean, it depends what your goal is. If your goal is to get a truck practically paid for, or to have a lease vehicle that you don't have to have a credit check on or whatever, then I can see why you would do that. You know, if that's what the terms are, but we don't even know what those terms are. And you know, and there are people that get their own authority that regret it. We have a couple of drivers here that had their own authority and they didn't want to do it. So, you know, I knew people at Landstar that went back to a 65% company because they didn't want to handle their authority. So it could be that too. Honesty is the best answer, absolutely. I never said I didn't like Coach. I just watched the names. Well, if you call them names, Daniel, I think that implies that. I screwed up my trucking career and lost friends because I did something stupid while I got caught. Yeah, and hopefully you're learning from that. Hopefully you're learning from that. And you're not making the same mistakes, especially now when you're in a really good spot. If I had a choice between Coach and John to tell me about running a business or anything, maybe I'd listen to John. Well, that's good. John, that's not true. TJB's on YouTube. He thinks he knows it all. Yes, James Best is a narcissist. I will say this with every fiber of my being. James Best is a narcissist. Reading comments here. Wife would agree. No, sir. Good deal. Good deal. Good deal, man. I hope so. We've prayed for you. We've prayed for you, brother. Look, here's the deal. We're gonna make this a 2-hour live feed. Here's the deal. Life is supposed to have struggle. Life is supposed to have suffering. You can't have a life without suffering and struggle. How do you know the good if you don't know the bad? How do you know the light if there's always darkness? How do you know what darkness is if there's always light? Struggle makes you stronger. Making mistakes makes you stronger. And what might be backwards to other people might be forwards for you. That's it. That's how life is. And this everybody gets a trophy attitude that we all have now, and it's not just generational. You know, have you guys heard the term victim blaming? Don't be a victim blamer. Well, guess what? Some victims need to be blamed. Because they created their mistakes. But if they learn from them, it'll make them stronger. How do you know what rich is if you haven't been poor? How do you know how to become rich if you haven't been poor? If you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth, then you have to have some really good training to make you suffer in a different way or make you struggle in a different way so you don't lose yourself, so you don't take advantage of people, so you don't forget where your family or where you came from. You know, the wife and I were talking to the kids about earlier about how the wife and I would literally have $20 left to go out with. And we would have to, you know, budget that for a show. Okay, we can each buy 3 beers and hopefully get a free one from one of the bartenders that we knew. You know, or, you know, she could drink and I could be the designated driver or something like that. You know, or okay, we've got enough money budgeted this month to go see a movie that we want to see. I remember those days. And if it wasn't for those days, we wouldn't appreciate what we have now. And what we have now, we remember them enough that we don't like car payments. So we own 3 vehicles with no car payments. We like the fact that we don't want to be a slave to, you know, making sure that, you know, we could have gotten a $100,000 house, but we didn't. And so for the price of one, we got 2. And one's almost paid off. Because we live frugally. Now we're not suffering. We're not like the most frugal people. But at the same time, we're comfortable enough that if we want to go out to eat tonight, we can. If we want to go out to eat 20 times this month, that's going to be a problem. But then we would recover because we know what it's like to have nothing. I've been homeless before. You have to be willing to fail to succeed, absolutely. I am no victim. I am an ex-wife divorce survivor. Leave it to Screaming Demon and his divorce jokes. You don't want to do something stupid that makes you look like an ass and hurt the people that you care for. when you deal with life and death situations, you really find out who your friends really are. People that have your back. You know, the people that want to help you and not showboat about it. Like, you know, not, I helped so and so because I'm awesome. Well, were you feeding your ego, or are you truly helping your friend? You know what I mean? Being humble is, and being humble is, and honest, and you know, eating a dose of humility is the best thing for you, for anybody. I'm not saying you to anybody specific, but to anybody. Let's put out that video, Kevin. Put it out there. I'm no longer talking you out of that. As long as you're ready for what's going to come after. And I know I keep going back to the diet, but you know, there was 2 years ago I was very reactive. I was very narcissistic. You know, YouTube was about feeding my ego. I don't even know what the highest number I've had in here today is. I know we're up to 31 right now, but I get in the zone and I don't care what the numbers look like. But the more you guys comment, the more reactive I get. That's the beauty of these live feeds. So, anyways, not quite at 2 hours, but we'll end it here unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about. So, in summary, there's a lot we've talked about. We talked some trucking, we've talked some diet. 40-day videos are coming, and hopefully I can get them done tomorrow. Tomorrow seems like the easy day, and then the stuff that I got to do. Look, if you're somebody that knows me personally and calls me on a regular personal basis, just know that I may or may not answer the phone because of what I'm dealing with this week. So please forgive me if I don't return your calls. And hit the like button. Smash the like button. Smash it. I am great at being humble. All my humble qualities possess. Being humble is probably the best. I see what you did there, irony. I can tell you in my knee job, I have gone from 5,000 steps a day to 15,000. Well, change the diet too, you'll be good to go. You're scared of calling me and Bess because you don't know what to expect? Well, you know, here's the deal. I don't mind if you call me. I may not answer because of the stuff I deal with right now, because I don't think you know what I'm dealing with right now. But I have no issues with you. So... what is this channel about? Trucking, diet, guitar, heavy metal, mainly trucking, and just being an overall powerful person. Get your sovereignty back. Be a sovereign person. Change the world one person at a time. You hate Florida? I don't blame you, especially this time of year. You know. Hey, I know where there's a good house for sale. I will always support you and give you tough love when needed. James, that's James Best. He'll tell you you're an asshole. He'll tell someone he's an asshole and then tells me he loves him at the same time. like almost in one breath. He'll be crying. He'll be triggered and crying about you at the same time. That's James Best. Oh, shucks, Nomadic Brit. Anything else, guys? I got 5 more minutes before we're in James Best territory here of over 2 hours. I don't think I've done any live feeds over 2 hours. It sounds like a perfect place for me. I'm a very powerful, humble person. That's funny. That's funny. I think I did answer the last time you called, dude. Now, if you call me at like 11 o'clock at night, I'm in bed, dude. I'm in bed, or me and the wife are having a conversation if I'm at home. Giving you the stink eye. What movie are you going to watch, James Best? Thank you. I appreciate you. Oh, no, Best, not you. Okay, yeah. James does what James does. What did Jeff say? OTJB, I can do a live video for you. New season of Botch started last night. I don't know what that is. Ice Road Trucker with Liam Neeson. James Special, tell me if that's any good. I think, if I had to guess, it's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be like Fast and Furious with cars. You know, it's going to be like, remember, I said this in my last live feed. You know, when you were a kid playing with Hot Wheels cars and you were doing all these impossible car things because you didn't want to play realistically, that's Fast and Furious. So I imagine it's going to be the trucking, Ice Road trucking version of that. Quit smoking. All right. Excellent. Right now I'm averaging about 7 cash on my IFTA report. It's never been more than 7.2. And I think the tires, the drives I got now are higher resistance, so my fuel mileage hasn't been as much. That's good. Ghost Cat, it's okay. I liked it because Liam was in it. It wasn't the best movie. Ice Road was a good movie. Just make sure you pay attention to the trucks. They transform like Transformers. Awesome. No spoilers. No spoilers. I get 6.7 on IFTA Cummins. Yeah, I mean that my truck did 6.7, 6.8. It increased in the last 4 years I've had the truck. However, as my tires wore down, it got better. But now with the new tires, I'm sure I'm probably, because I like getting knobby tires. I don't like buying tires every 2 years. All right, guys. I seen a picture of that new Ice Road movie. I'm assuming someone took Liam Nielsen's daughter across the road. And he's going to shoot him up while talking bad about gun rights. Right? I get unlimited MPG if in the office chair. You do. It's American corn. Like, I'm Liam Nielsen. I make millions of dollars in shoot 'em up movies, and then I'm going to talk about how gun rights need to be taken away. What an idiot. I almost don't want to watch the movie because you got to separate the artist from the art, right? Like, there's a lot of bands I listen to now that really showed their ugly head on Twitter the last couple of years. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. This has been a good live feed, so we'll keep it up. Maybe. I didn't seem arrogant. Did I seem too arrogant? Should I keep this up? I hate it when I seem arrogant. I hate that. I despise. I can't even watch my own live feeds. Look, I don't have all the answers, but I do know this. Food companies want you sick. The pharmaceutical companies want you sick. Government wants your money. The government wants your independence. And Liam Neeson makes movies. And the only way you can change the world is to change yourself. Peace.